How's it going, everybody? Out in the greenhouse tonight, up potting some of my tomato plants. It's going to be a little bit cool in the evenings, in the upper 40s for the next few weeks, so I'm going to wait to actually plant out. But in the meantime, I want to give them some more room to grow and be set up so that they're going to be looking a little bit more healthy when it's time to put them in the ground, and whatever excess that I have, I'm going to sell. So I figure I'd give you a couple tips. Maybe you're an expert at growing tomatoes, maybe you're not. Maybe this will help, maybe it won't, but these are a few things that I learned, and just even up potting them this way will give you a little bit of a head start when you go to put them in the ground if you follow similar instructions. So basically, you saw I just pulled this right out of here. I know a lot of people do soil blocking and stuff like that, trying to not hurt the, I don't want to disturb the roots. Yeah, you don't want to disturb them, but when you actually pull them out and they're kind of like up against the edge of the pot, it's not going to hurt the plant to just dig around in there and mess them all up. You rip them, it's okay. They're going to grow more. Tomato plants especially can grow roots all throughout the stem. So what you want to do is you want to try to bury this as deep as you can. I want to leave a little bit of the tomato plant with the leaves still above the ground. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just pinch off the lower leaves. And for the pot size that I have, that should be good. I'm going to set the plant down as low as I can in the pot. I'm just going to fill in all around it. I'm using a heavy amount of compost mixed in with a little bit of pro-mix potting soil just to kind of aerate a little bit. I had a little extra perlite laying around, so I was mixing that in as well. It's okay that you're covering the root ball. Not all plants are good like this, but tomato plants are. You don't want to continually bury the root ball of a tree, because that'll rot out the bark on the tree and cause the tree to die. Won't actually be able to carry all the nutrients up into the tree. The bark is very important on a tree. With a tomato plant, you got all those little hairs on there. They're all going to be turning into roots eventually. You bury this up, and all down that stem in there, it's going to just branch out as roots. Put a nice helping of compost in. You don't have to use compost. If you're using just regular potting mix, I would try to amend it with something, maybe some blood meal, some worm casting, something like that. My compost has got pretty much everything from my kitchen in it. Anything that's organic, we throw in there, and also the chickens pick through it. But it's not cooked. It's a live compost. There's microorganisms growing in it. They're living in it. They're feeding off of the material that we've thrown in there. You got a nice tilth to it. There's going to be seeds in here because I also throw all my plants in here. There's tons of weeds and everything from the yard blowing all around. Those seeds are also getting in here. So what I do is I'll put a little mulch around the top. About an inch thick of mulch. This is just shredded straw. I find that it works pretty good. If you have grass clippings already, that works fairly well. You gotta watch putting too much fresh grass on top because it can heat up and kill the plant. The straw, it's not green. It's not gonna be going through a heavy decomposition process. Boom. Just like that. So like I said, you go to plant in the ground, Even if you're not up potting like this, you still want to get the plant as low as possible. If you've got a really tall, long plant, I've seen people before and I've tried it myself. It works. Actually laying the pot down into the soil and then at the end of it just kind of bending the stem up out of the soil. And you just get more surface area for the roots to grow. This plant is, it's not the same variety of tomato, but it's very similar. Transplanted these at the same time. I have all these extra biodegradable cups. I got a great deal on them. They do not hold as much soil as one of these 1-quart plastic cups, and it's definitely affected their growth. Transplanted at the same time, and you can see right there, that's about where the other plant's sitting. So I'm already getting thicker stems, taller plants, and it's been pretty consistent. I did basically half of them in the compostable pots, half of them in these. That extra root growth that was able to happen in there, just a couple extra inches, has really given the plant a big jump start. So again, I've got a couple weeks before I plant out. So putting these in the pots here with this nutrient-rich soil and giving them more access for root growth is really going to have these things primed and ready to go. So like I said, in a few weeks I'm going to plant these out. When I do, I'll probably put maybe 10 plants in the ground, and then I've got, I don't know, another 20 to go, maybe more. So at that point, I'll throw them up on our local garden share site, or even sell them up at the pharmacy where I've been selling some of the house plants. But yeah, if you're local in Delray, New Jersey, reach on out and we'll see if we can set you up with one if you're looking to buy one. One thing I forgot to mention is a common issue with tomatoes. They're very susceptible to blight. There's different options for taking care of it once it's started, but once it's started, it's really tough to battle. You got copper fungicide, you got Bacillus subtilis, which is hay bacteria. Those are options that you can keep the plant going a little bit longer, try to get some produce out of it. It may save the plant, but ultimately once it starts, it's really tough to take care of. The fungus that causes the blight is in the soil. So when you plant, or even just like transplanting, you want to try to avoid getting the soil onto the leaves. You want to try to keep it as low on the stem as possible from where you're set up here. One of the most common causes for getting blight on a tomato plant is actually when you're watering it and the water is hitting the soil and splashing up onto lower leaves. The leaves are very susceptible to it. To help keep that from happening, you can put down some mulch. Mulch will keep more moisture in the soil. It'll keep it from evaporating as quickly, and it will also help to keep from that water hitting the soil, whether it's rain or your hose or whatever, hitting the soil and bouncing up onto the leaves. So it also acts as a great weed barrier. Hope you learned something, and if you did, or you like this, give us a follow. It's much appreciated.